Pessimism blunts the tools you need to succeed. Friends and grasshoppers, this is the Formless Podcast, number 157, with Tyler, the Superhuman, and me, Dustin.
We're here, 157.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, playing footsies with you. We don't need to do that. This week has been insanely busy. I don't know about you, but it has been bananas. Like
crazy, just keeping you going.
Just pegged into the red, like all day long from the minute I get in my car to drive to work to like home. My wife, let me back up. My wife's been working a bunch of extra hours. She's in the midst of school. She's got finals next week. I've been working a bunch of, not a lot of overtime, but like been working a little overtime. And then the work that I'm doing is intense. And so there's like, I look up and it's like, oh, hey, it's my lunch was like an hour ago. I need to go take lunch now, like stuff like that. Right. So it's just been wild. But I was thinking, we did last week's episode on the thing, right? This week's episode, like I was thinking, what if you didn't know the thing? Like, what if you didn't know the lesson that you're supposed to be learning?
So you're saying all this stuff is happening.
Like, yeah, all this stuff is happening and you're struggling with it. And there's something that like you need to be able to figure out to move forward. What is the thing? Like, have you ever had that experience where you just don't know what lesson it is that you're supposed to be learning so you can move on with your life?
I have had that.
Yeah.
I think
Is that a universal feeling, you think?
I believe so. I think that a lot of the things that happen to us, right? We don't know why they're happening. Yeah. And I think that in the midst of all of it happening, you're sitting there, you're probably receiving blows, like bam, blow.
Yeah,
Are you talking about a blow or just chaos?
Just life, right? Just life. Chaos. It could be inspiring, right? You could be sparring somebody and you're just like, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And I just keep getting socked. Or it could be life in general, or you're doing a film set with no script and the director's a lunatic and everything changes from one day to the next. It could be anything.
Well, I think in those situations there is a like a vacuum or a gap, I should say, that allows you to like fill so that you can find out what you're supposed to be learning or doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's definitely a vacuum, and it's usually between my two ears.
Okay. No, but I mean, like, so you got all this chaos happening. You're like, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. And I think it's just a really good opportunity to respond to the situation in the moment.
Yeah.
Or in your week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's funny. I'd never really thought of this whole concept, this idea or this thought, until I was going to school. One of the 3 or 4 times I had attempted college, and I had this teacher who was a pretty cool guy. He was, we were learning, it was water treatment classes, and learning all about water and the different types of ways to treat it and different things. But he would like tell stories every once in a while, and he'd go off on a tangent. And some of them were pretty good, and some of them were a little out there. But this one he was talking about, he was struggling in life, and he was having a real rough go of things. Like I don't quite recall all the details. I think he was like going through a divorce or a job change or some big thing in his life was happening, and he was super frustrated, and he was just like not on the verge of giving up, but like it was definitely an idea of like, well, you can always just, That's an option, right? So he was talking to somebody. They're driving in a car. And the way he told the story is they're driving in a car. They get onto Highway 44, and they're headed east. And he's like, I don't know what lesson this all is supposed to be teaching me, but I will be sure. I'm sure going to be glad when I finally learn that lesson. And he said it was like the clouds opened up and the rain stopped. And like he like felt this overwhelming sense of relief. And I kind of like, when he was telling this story, kind of was like, all right. But I've had like this series of events in my life where like I'm at a complete and utter loss. Where I have found myself in those shoes, basically, and being like, I don't know what the heck the universe, God, or the world has planned for this moment in time, but I'll sure as heck be glad when I finally figure that one out. I don't know.
You'll be glad when it's over too.
Yeah. When tomorrow gets here, I'll be happy. And I don't know that like I felt any kind of relief from it, but I definitely had a little bit of clarity of like, this too shall pass. Or on the flip side of that, hey, if things are going really great, this too shall pass. Like, it's not always going to be roses, It's funny. There's on the surface level of things, like with your job, like making movies, on the surface level of making movies, it's all pretty glamorous, right?
Oh yeah.
Everyone sees the end result. I went
the
to
red carpet.
Yeah, the red carpet.
The movie premiere.
The Oscars, the movie premiere.
The outfits.
Yes.
Tuxedos and dresses.
Exactly. But like, they don't see the year or the 6 months it took of grinding 14, 15-hour days in the sun, in the rain, upside down, suspended from the ceiling, making the actual product. And there's a lot like that. Martial arts is a great example. Like it's simple on the surface. We're just punching and kicking stuff, or we're grappling, right? Like, okay, cool. I can tell you everything that we're going to do in like 3 words. But when you get down into it and you like start to like really look at it, and not just like from the micro level, not the macro level. Like, we start looking and filing down, like you find really intricate details and things. And the distance between those two views,
between the micro and the macro,
right? Like the movie premiere, right? We see that on the news, or we see that on Entertainment Tonight, or if there is even a thing like that anymore, I don't know. But you see the glamour and all of the awesomeness that is, but you almost don't see the microscopic view of that, or if ever,
right,
until you either experience something like that yourself, or you read about it, or you hear from somebody like, oh, dude, we were making this movie for 6 months and I didn't think we were ever going to finish, the stuff like that, right? Like we were stuck in the desert for 3 weeks, waiting for the sun to rise over this hill for the perfect angle, right? Yeah, it just never happened. But like, how many other things like that are in your life? Where on the surface it looks great, or it looks terrible, or whatever, and then until you like whittle it down and get down into the finer details, like you don't understand, right? Like What's a good example? Driving. Okay, driving a car. We've talked about this before. Driving. We don't think anything of it to get in the car and drive to town, drive to work, drive to go get something to eat. But somebody who's never driven a car before, you can't just throw them the keys and be like, hey, yeah, take me into Reading. Like, you're probably not going to get out of the parking lot.
Right.
If they don't have the fundamentals, the basics. They understand the idea of driving, but that whole thing of like actually, they've got to learn that lesson.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll dig in here.
Dig away.
So I have been at my job for like a year, right? Things are going good. The job's awesome. It's the best job I've ever had. Everyone I work with is great. It gets incredibly intense sometimes, like at the end of the month, or in this case, the end of last month. But we're reconciling. We're fixing all the books. We're making sure everything's lining up and in order. And every time I've sat down and thought, I got this. I'm pretty good. I know what I'm doing. I kid you not. Like, I've literally had this conversation with myself multiple times over this year. Like, I'm good. I know what I'm supposed to do now. And then within 48 hours of thinking that, I go, I have no idea what it is I'm supposed to do. Because I'm like peeling back the layer, right? Like, I get, oh, wow, there's so much more stuff here. And then I get down through that and everything's good again. And I'm like, all right, we're okay. And then, oh man, this is so much more stuff, right? And dealing with technology and computers and things, which on the surface, I thought I had a fairly good understanding. Like, I've messed with computers since like the 6th grade. I kind of have an idea of how they work, right? No, they're much
foreign inventions.
Yeah.
Alien technology,
man. But it's wild. And then like we have, because it's a security company, first and foremost, we handle other companies' computer security and amongst other things. But like, we'll have competing programs working together. They technically do the same thing, but like some program does something a little bit better that the other program doesn't do, or that the other program covers things that in a different way, different parameters or whatever. But that creates its own nest of problems where, like, instead of having one record of a client's computer, now we have 2 records of a client's computer, right? Well, great. Okay, big deal. We can figure that out. But which one do we put all of our data in? Like, which record do you count? Right?
Yes.
And if you count the left record and I count the right record and we don't look at the other record, we may just screw some stuff up because
you don't want to do that.
Because you're doing something for that client on Monday, and on Wednesday I did something for that client, but I put it in my record and you put it in your record.
The left record and the right record need to be talking.
And sometimes they do, and everything jives.
And
right?
Combine it into one
yes.
record.
But sometimes they don't. And sometimes you don't find out about that right away.
You find out down the line.
You find out down the road. And
then you have to go back through and track the numbers and see.
And you were good 3 weeks ago. Everything was kosher. You were happy. Everything was getting recorded just the way it was supposed to be. And then 3 weeks later, you find out like there's a whole slew of problems that got recorded on this other record that didn't get recorded on the other record. Now you're like, what do we do here? So I'm trying to like not be, there's certain things that like, that I can't talk, you know what I mean? Like I gotta be client conscious and not like just blab everything.
NDAs.
So I'm trying to be like, in general terms as possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. NDA means non-disclosure agreement.
Yes. Yeah.
For the audience members.
I don't have that kind of like security clearance or anything like that. I very, very rarely interact with the clients, but I handle like the purchasing of invoices for them for their stuff, right? Like I might buy something, a workstation or software equipment, whatever. So I other than like this computer goes to Joe over at this company, other than that, like I don't really have any inside information. I'm just seeing it on the back end as things happen. And you're like, oh, wow, that like I had no idea that this could even happen. And I literally ran into that this week. And I was just like, that's kind of crappy. Thankfully, I was smart enough to be like, okay, pumping the brakes because I don't know what to do here. And until I find somebody with some more info, then we'll do it. And what's going on is like we're transitioning from one program to another program. But in the meantime, both of those programs are working and they're both doing the same thing. They just do it in a different way. So now we have doubles of records. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm just going to back out slowly.
So that's like the in-between.
Yes.
You're operating in the in-between two different programs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a really good place to be.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because like I said, it gives you an opportunity, or I don't know if I already said this, but it gives you an opportunity to find a solution. Right? Like,
yeah. Ooh, that's a good way of looking at it.
You're in the in-between. All this stuff is happening. You've got one side over here that's got some sort of information and another side over here that's got other information. And maybe that information from both sides doesn't always line up. So you got to sift through it. So that gives you an opportunity to come up with a solution. Otherwise, what's the other extreme? You just sit there and you don't do anything.
Nice.
Right? Like you gotta, like, I think deep down inside of us, when we get our logical brain out of the way, like our brain is a tool, right? It's a tool. And so getting it out of the way for just a moment, and I think anybody, when they've got a problem and you just kind of like stop thinking about it for a second and you get your brain out of the way. And I think your being, your essence will come up with not even come up with the solution, but have the solution. It'll just be like, boom,
we're going to go this direction.
This is the direction to go.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the brain sometimes gets overworking.
It does.
And you got to be like, hold on, buddy. You're not in charge. Like,
exactly.
Slow your roll.
You know, Blaine talks about that too, that our teacher, Blaine, that the brain can kind of sometimes get in the way, like when we're sparring. And I don't have time to think. Like if you come at me with like a uppercut, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to say, okay, brain, like my brain... If I go, okay, brain, what's the block for uppercut, and
where should I move my feet?
Where should I move my feet? And then your brain's like this, and then you get hit, and it's like you didn't go through like, okay, you're asking your brain, then your brain gets back to the answer, then you send the signal to your muscles, then your muscles do it. Like
there's too much time.
There's too much time. So I think in that situation when you're getting when all that stuff is happening, I think. And your right file and your left file are not lining up, and you're trying to, like, that's an opportunity to find a solution. And I think a lot of times too, we make things out to be a bigger deal than what they are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we get all
for sure.
Start breathing heavy. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got to go through that.
I do like what you said about the brain thing with the overthinking too much.
Overthinking.
But on the flip side of that, you can also go like too,
like you underthinking.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right? Like there's a balance there. And you see that in sparring as well, right? Where like, okay, it's almost like an animal kind of thing. Like they're working from sheer panic. And
Yes.
it's instinctual.
Yes.
Like I'm just going to flail my arms around, and you're like, whoa, okay. That's only going to get you so far.
Yep.
Like there's a definite fine line there where like overthinking causes you to slow down. Underthinking causes you to get hurt because you're just not able to consciously protect yourself. So we want to find that balance between like I'm thinking just enough so I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm acting on instinct just enough to where I can make things happen.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
I don't know.
Ah,
You're standing on like the tightrope.
The tightrope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's just the middle. It's that in between, you know, the
middle.
The middle.
Yeah, is that what we're gonna call that one? We're gonna call this the middle.
The middle instead of the thing. Last week's episode was the
this
thing.
is the middle.
This is the middle, or maybe the in between.
Yeah, I like the upside down.
Oh, from Stranger Things.
Yeah. When everything's flipped on its ear.
Yeah.
Right. There was an account that I follow, and he talks about living in the upside down. He was a narcotics officer in Mexico, and things get understandably hairy, right? Understandably and weird things happen for no apparent reason sometimes. And he would call out, well, like, this is what happens when you live in the upside down, when you're dealing with things that aren't of the norm of just like wild stuff. So yeah.
Interesting.
So we got the middle, and we got the upside down. We got the overthinking,
The underthinking.
the underthinking. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I just think it's really good. I think that, it goes back to the whole thing where, so when that stuff happens and you have the left file and the right file and their information isn't always overlapping and or accurate and reflecting each other.
Yeah.
Do you have someone you can go ask?
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes
and
you're
check
just
in
like,
with them and be like, hey, look at this.
no, most of the time I do, but there are tools that I have now that I have the experience. There's tools that you can dig in, and there's like audit trails. You can see like, oh, okay, this was human created. This was a computer created, a program created file.
Okay.
So now it depends on like, okay, are we going to go with the one that has the longer history, the record, and is the other file being copied onto the human created file? So, you check that kind of stuff and you figure it out. But at first, like when I got this program, when I'm using this one program that I use, it's like I'm looking at one page, one section of it. And there are so many more sections of this. It just like, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like it's super deep. It goes levels to it. Yeah.
Okay.
And depending on your role or what job you have, you may have an entirely different section of this program that you use and not go out of anywhere else outside of that program. And then, somebody else could have 3/4 of it. And then somebody else is in the background just crunching the numbers, looking at the different ways that it works and how it ties in. Because it's like, it keeps track of all of your customers, keeps track of all of their equipment, all of their domain names for websites, SSLs, all of that kind of stuff. And it's basically a place where you put information, names, addresses, serial numbers, dates, programs, subscriptions, all of that stuff. It just keeps track of all of that.
So it's a customer relations management.
Basically, yes. On steroids.
System. Yeah.
On steroids.
On steroids, okay.
Yeah, and probably a little something else on top of it, just for good measure. So, yeah. But it's crazy. to like look at. And I always find myself wondering, like, okay, somebody had to go through and map all of this out, right? Like they probably built off of an existing program, but somebody had to go through and be like, okay, what about this situation where we have two matching serial numbers, but they're for different products? Like, you know, how are we going to differentiate that? Or like, you know, just random things that pop up that like somebody had to think about it. Like somebody had to map that out and go, okay, if it goes from here to here to here, it's got to go back, or it's got to, you know, it's going to deviate here because of X, Y, Z.
All the different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah.
And just how detailed are you going to go in this?
Yeah. And like, it probably wasn't just one person. It was probably an entire team of people that went through all the different scenarios. So yeah, it gets pretty deep. It's crazy.
And it's overwhelming.
It's sometimes. And then it's like
data management.
Yes. So when I finally figure this out, I'm going to be happy. And then some other problem will come up, I'm sure. But
it gives you an opportunity to find solutions.
Yeah,
there's a saying that that a friend of mine, he always says, is they're not problems, they're opportunities to overcome.
Yep. That's a good way of looking at it.
They're not problems, they're opportunities to overcome.
My favorite about problems comes from a movie. And I think I've quoted this before, but it's not, the problem isn't the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem.
What was that from? That was
Pirates of the Caribbean, I think. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Jack Sparrow. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. when he's talking to somebody and they're complaining about the boat leaking and all the sails got holes in it and somebody's chasing them and like he's just going on and on and on and on, and he's like, the problem's not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem.
And those days, like what they're talking about, I mean, there were definitely life-threatening issues, potentially life-threatening issues, but they were a lot simpler, right? Like compared to like computers right? And organizing stuff, like the complexity of.
Yeah, but like I'm not going to die if something goes, like it's going to be wrong. Don't get me wrong. And it's going to be a problem for something. For someone's going to have a bad day, and I'm probably ultimately going to have a bad day too. But like, I'm not going to die of gangrene.
Right, totally. That's what I was saying. They're not like, but they're a lot simpler solutions. Like back then, it was like, oh, there's holes in the sails. Okay, well, we got to patch the holes.
Yeah. I got you. But like, the consequences are different.
Oh, absolutely.
But the problems are not the same. Yeah.
They're still very annoying problems.
Well, they're frustrating because like you'll be going along, you're making good progress, you're making things happen, and then you hit a problem and it just stops the train in its tracks. And now we've got to figure out this problem. Can we proceed like we have been, or do we have to fix this? And what's it affect down the line, and what's it affect behind the line? Because if you make a change here, all these
the ripple effect,
all these things are connected in some way, some shape or form. Sometimes it has a huge ripple. Sometimes that ripple's not very big at all. And you're just kind of like, you better know what you're doing before you make that decision.
Before you hit the edit file button.
Execute.
Because once you crack open that and you say edit file and you're manually putting in information, it's like, oh man.
Yeah. Check this out. So I was talking with Mark a while back, our website Mark, editor Mark, super awesome friend. He was using, and I can't recall which one, but he was using some AI to help him figure out a problem. And he had a file. He was working for a customer on a website. He had this file, and he's asking it questions like, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? What da-da-da-da-da-da? And he's trying to fix this problem. And the AI was like, delete this file, and it'll fix your problem. Well, he deleted the file and it broke the website. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know all of the minutia of the story. I just know a little, bits and pieces. But he was like, that's not really fixing it. It broke, right? Like, and then he was joking, like on Facebook. He's like, if you ask AI how to disable a bomb?
Oh.
Right?
Will it know it?
The bomb, or a hand grenade. Excuse me, a hand grenade. The instructions from the AI will be: pull the pin, release spoon, wait 5 seconds. Right? It's disabled, and so are you.
That's funny.
So yeah, information going in has to come out there. And it's going to be in varying degrees.
Maybe you should ask AI, what do I do with this program?
Actually,
what did it say?
So we have multiple AIs at work. Some of them are better than others, and some of them are depending on the job situation. But this one actually gave pretty awesome details about the thing and couldn't pinpoint why it was exactly happening. But it was like, you need to notify this person of it and do this thing. And I can draft an email for you and notify them if you want. I'm like, no, I'll
take care of that.
I'll take care of that.
All right.
But yeah, sometimes it can find solutions, and that stuff's growing by leaps and bounds, pretty substantially. But it's not perfect.
No.
And with more solutions comes more problems.
That's true. What do you think your solution is with the chaos of everything happening? And
I always have to learn things the hard way.
Okay.
Like, I got to get punched in the face before I learn how to pick my hands up.
Right. So what you're going to do is you're eventually going to figure out the solution.
I'll figure out the solution through just banging my head against the table until I figure it out. I'm not a very good quitter. Like, I don't give up. I'll get frustrated and I'll kick the dirt and cry about it, but like, and make a podcast about it. But like, I'll just keep coming back. Like, I'll just keep turning around like, all right, here we are again. I'm going to figure this out. This is going to make sense to me. Yeah, it's, but I'll figure that out and I'll find 3 more problems, I'm sure. It's just the way it is.
So the solution for what did we call this episode? The
middle.
The middle.
The middle.
Your solution for the middle is to keep plowing.
Keep plowing forward.
Bang your head against the wall until you find the problem. The solution.
The definition of insanity. Yes. Yes.
No, I just think in situations like that, we ultimately know deep down what the answer is, what the solution is.
Yeah.
And our brains kind of sometimes get in the way, and they complicate things and make things out to be worse than they are, or not as worse as they are.
Well, like,
and give us too many details that fog the.
And sometimes we make a problem. That isn't even a problem.
Right. Exactly.
Like, how many times have you gotten onto a computer program or a website and you're like trying to check out on a website and you're going, where's the button? What's the next step? Well, it's somewhere here, and you've clicked a box or you've done something. Like your password, right?
Yeah.
I went into work one day. I'm typing my password, and I know my password. I have it memorized. I type it in, bang. Wrong password. Okay, do it again. Wrong password. Like 4 times in a row, right? I had the caps lock on. And like everybody's done this, right? Everybody's done this. And the computer only knows the input you give it.
Right.
Right. It's not going to tell you like, hey, dummy, you left the caps lock on. Now there's certain programs that will say, hey, just so you're aware,
the caps
lock is on, or the num lock's on. But like, not all of them do that. right? And it's stuff like that. The computer only knows what you give it. It's not going to tell you, hey, you turn this on and you got this on and your fonts are all the same color as the screen, white. So that's why you can't read what you're writing. Sometimes it's as simple as taking a step back and just going, what do I need to look at here?
Yeah. Just taking a step back, evaluating it.
Taking a deep breath and going, okay.
And a lot of times the solutions are the simplest things.
You know, it's funny. Have you ever done any work with like electricians?
I mean, I've wired up some stuff, but not with like electricians, I don't think.
So my brother-in-law and my brother, they work in wastewater treatment plants. And a lot of electric motors, a lot of computer programs, a lot of stuff. And one of the guys that was an electrician for the plants that my dad worked at, he'd always be like, all right, what was the last thing you touched? Anytime there was a problem, if something wasn't working and nobody could figure it out, he'd be like, okay, physically go over and show me the last thing that you messed up or that you looked at.
Ah, interesting.
And then would work backwards from there. It was like a problem solving 101, right? But yeah, I think you're right. It's usually the simplest solution. Usually, not always, but working backwards sometimes can get you to that thing, that solution quicker.
Well, yeah, that's really good. One time my uncle told me this and I'll never forget it. And I hadn't yet, so my uncle's used to be a big hunter. I think he still is. But, and so one time I asked him, I was like, hey, if I shoot a pig, how do I clean that pig? And he's like, okay, you shoot your pig, like if you're out wild pig hunting, right?
Yeah. Which
and
is
he's like, the animal is all right there. He's like, all your sausage, all your bacon, all your pork chops, everything is right there in front of you in that animal. And he's like, some people get so freaked out and they start saying, well, I don't know where all the sausage is and I don't know where the bacon is. And
it's all right here.
And I don't know how to do this and that. And he's like, it's all, everything in the animal that you're going to eat is right there in front of you. And he's like, it's not somewhere out there in the field or out there in the woods. It's right there in front of you. So everything that is going to get turned into something you're going to eat is right there. And so so I think about that in terms of like fixing cars, fixing vehicles, like everything you need to fix on your vehicle. It's all within this circle of right there. It's all right in front of you.
Yeah. And it's not like it doesn't work off of magic.
What?
Right? Like your car doesn't work off of magic.
It doesn't work off magic. So there's a process and a system that has to happen for everything to work in harmony, which is it's incredible, like how like what a vehicle needs, like how complex they are. Like it's crazy, like to operate
for a modern vehicle,
especially a modern vehicle. But I'm talking even like a 50, 60-year-old vehicle, for that all to work, it's still like, that's amazing. Like, but what I'm saying is, like you're saying, it's all right there that you got to fix. So it's not some, you might have to go to the store and get a part, but the solution is right there in front of you. Same thing with the pig. My uncle's like, there's no wrong way to carve up a pig. He's like, you can just cut them up any way you want and cut and barbecue them or put them in a crock pot. There's no wrong way you can cut up a pig.
In a worst case scenario, you're going to have a whole bunch of sausage.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which all the sausage is just ground up meat.
Yes.
Like it's, maybe it's got some added beef or something else, but, fat from something else. But so all that, I shouldn't say beef with pork sausage. I've never heard of that, but like maybe like your venison sausage has a little bit of pork added in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or maybe it's just straight venison. But
the point is that everything is right in front of you.
It's all right in front of you. And so like I think that a lot of times the solution is right in front of
Well,
us.
and sometimes we overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Your hesitation in action because you're afraid you're going to make a mistake.
Hesitation.
Yeah.
And hesitation is, I mean, you can have like a tactical hesitation where you stop and you think about something, but then that tactical hesitation becomes a long-term hesitation. And then
It should be a pause and not a stop.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but a lot of times, like, I just think that the solution is right here in front of us because the problem is right here. The problem for my vehicle isn't in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
It's right here. Like, right.
Well, and in fact, ignoring that problem is just going to make it worse.
Right. Right. When you ignore something, I can't think of any time where we ignore something and it becomes better. Normally, when you ignore something, it just becomes worse. Mm-hmm. Can you think of something?
Oh, dude.
If you ignore a problem, it just goes away?
No. But no, honestly, no. It doesn't just go away on its own.
So I think the solution to having all the things happening, you're like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. I think like that solution is right there. Like it's just...
I totally agree. It is right there. It's absolutely right in front of you. Like right in front of me, staring me right in the face. The problem is I don't know how to identify the solution yet.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's the dilemma, right? I know the answer is in here somewhere. It's right in front of me on this monitor or in my life. It's out the front windshield, right? It's out here. I just don't know where. So I just keep moving along. Right? Like eventually I'm going to figure it out, but we just got to keep trucking forward.
Keep plowing.
Yeah.
Keep plowing.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. I think that's the philosophy I've always worked off of. Just keep moving forward. You can cry and kick the dirt and scream about it, but you're still going to keep moving forward. I always tell this story when we get a new like advanced purple belt kid in class.
Okay.
Like we do belt promotions. That was the point about where I was like questioning whether I wanted to keep going or not.
Was advanced purple?
Yeah. And this was like, at the time for me, I had a lot of internal turmoil over this because Blaine's a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. All my family's here. And I'm having a good time. I'm really enjoying class. I'm doing all of the things. This was like years ago now. I don't know how many, but it was a while. But I'm not, like, for me to like feel comfortable with stuff, I have to understand it. I got to know what the heck it is I'm doing. Otherwise, I just feel like lost. And that specific rank on the path that you're at, there's a lot of room. My personal belief is there's a lot of room for interpretation. How things are applied can be wildly different from one person to the next. How often or how little those certain techniques get used or applied could vary wildly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like, I couldn't make it work for me in regardless of which way I tried it. And I was getting really frustrated with it. And I know that's part of the process, right? Like I'm learning still. I'm still learning even today. Today I learned stuff. And I hope that never goes away. But like trying to just understand why and the concepts of it and the like put it into practice. You know, it's like talking about flying a helicopter, but never actually sitting in the helicopter. That's kind of what I felt like. That's what I came to the conclusion of. I was like, if I'm going to continue with this, I need to put these things into practice, and I need to use these. And I'm talking about specific punches that we were doing, specific technique for these. And I basically come to the conclusion that, like, if I was going to continue doing this, that I was going to figure out how to do these. And I was going to force myself to do them every time we sparred, which was multiple times a week sometimes. I was going to force myself to do this until I figured it out or like died. I'm like, this is my option. Here's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And so I started just doing it wrong in all of the different wrong ways you can do it, right? Like, okay, that didn't work because Tyler hit me in the head. That didn't work because I just got kicked. That didn't work because, a why didn't work. I don't know. I don't even know why it didn't work. It just didn't work. And I started to see a little bit of progress. And then I could, by doing them different ways, by faking or by slowing down or speeding up in certain positions, I finally figured out how to apply this tool, this way forward. And it got a whole lot better after that. So I'm like, okay, my solution for this problem I'm talking about with the belt story, was like, find the why. Like, I have the tool, I have the problem. I need to find the why and when to use the tool for the problem. I think that's right. Yeah. I just like, I have a hammer and no nail. I need to put these two pieces of wood together. Well, let's find a nail, right? I've got wood, a screw, but no way to set the screw.
Right. Okay.
So I got to find a screwdriver. Okay. So that's the thing. Like, find the missing link and apply it. So now when I'm teaching and somebody asks me a question related to martial arts, related to certain techniques, related to tactics, whatever, I'm like, okay, if I have a problem and I don't know the answer, I got to find the tool. Find the tool for the problem. Find the, sometimes I'll have the solution, but not the tool.
Right.
Okay. So find the missing piece, insert Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So yeah, at that point though, I was like really questioning things. What am I going to continue? Am I going to keep doing this? Because I can't seem to make this work. I can't seem to figure out why or what the purpose is of this one thing, or this set of things, to be more specific. Everything else is cool. I understand it. It jives. It makes sense to me. I can make it work. But this one little thing over here, I can't figure it out. And I need to know how it works. I need to figure it out so I can either progress or find out that this isn't for me and move on. So I was like, before I quit, I've got to give myself every opportunity and every chance to try and make that work and try and figure out how. That way, at least if I do quit, I could say I've tried everything that I could figure out, everything that I could think of to try and make this work. And I'd asked around. I was asking for help and like working with other people and figuring it out. And it just kind of like clicked. Like I got the right puzzle pieces to snap together. I had the right pieces all along, but they were all just like discombobulated,
not
turned
aligned
around
with each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So over time, you found the solution.
And yeah, basically. That was a long-winded way to say that. Yes. Over time, I found the solution.
I was just trying to just boil it down to,
and it really was, like you were saying, it was all right there in front. It was right there in front of me. I just didn't know where, like, it was.
You didn't know how to assemble all the pieces.
Yeah. It was right there in front of me the entire time. It just wasn't in a language that I could understand just yet. Or the pieces were out of order.
Okay.
Once I got the parts lined out and lined up, then it was like,
You're like, I got it.
Yeah. It went together like it's supposed to. So.
Well, that's good. That's always nice when it goes together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it worked out. I'm still here. I'm still doing this stuff. And I'm teaching it. And I'm having a great time.
157 episodes in on a podcast.
Exactly.
It's a good thing you put it together because you wouldn't be here for this podcast right now.
Yeah.
You'd be listening to other people's podcasts instead of doing your own.
Which is way more fun. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts. But it's more fun to make them. Hey, what else we got going on?
The seminar.
No, we have a seminar?
Seminar's coming up.
Next month.
September 11th, 12th, and 13th. Well, technically 12th and 13th.
12th and 13th. That one, dude, it's right around the corner. I can't believe this is months in the making.
And now it's
like here.
It's 4 weeks away.
Yeah. And I still keep finding stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, we got to do this. We should do this. I got to do this. I got a surprise. And it was like, I had planned months ago. So I got a little surprise for Randall, a little surprise for Blaine, just to say thank you. Nothing like super fancy or anything, but like I had thought about it months ago, forgot about it, and then was like, oh crap, I got to get this all together. I got to like line this stuff up,
Yes.
Because things take time and take effort to put it together and make it work. And it's like, oh yeah, that's like really close. I better get moving on this. So you keep finding new stuff like that all the time. Little curveballs get thrown the way, and you're like, oh, cool. Didn't think about that one. Let's try this.
Yeah.
But seminar coming up. Wing Chun, Randall Davis, Kung Fu Conversations, and Red Forest Chinese Boxing.
So if you can make it out.
Yeah, September 12th, 13th. The 12th is only for students of Wu Ying Dao. We're trying to do a little special something for them, for us. So if you're a student of that particular style of martial arts and you want to come, that'll be for Saturday. Sunday is open to everybody, and we welcome everyone. It's going to be a good time, lots of fun. I have the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, so I was playing with those, trying to figure out a couple of things that I was going to talk about and make like a little video and show some of the stuff that I like to do, and then some of the stuff and how we kind of begged, borrowed, stole, whatever from Wing Chun. So I thought that might be kind of like a cool thing, and some of the stuff that I would like to add to my bag of tricks. Yeah, it was like, so I was doing it, but it looks a little weird because like it's from my perspective, and so you really don't see me per se. You see my forearms and my fists. So it's kind of awkward. But I may play around with that a little bit and see if we can figure something out. There's some cool stuff. It's like a really cool tool.
That is a really cool tool.
But I'm like, how do I use it? And I don't play with it all the time. I used it a little bit. I made a couple of videos and stuff. I gave him to Cole to wear, and he had a video going where I was like sparring with him, and that was pretty cool.
I saw that video.
But like, other than that, I'm like, what else am I going to do with this thing? I got to figure something out. It's a cool work gift. It was awesome. But like, what are we going to do with this thing? So yeah, we got all that going on. What else? Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
That's it.
We're good.
We've got the seminar, and we want to put on more seminars.
We want to definitely put on more seminars. That would be
what's our official title for we gotta
come up with
it's
a
like
title.
Formless,
Well,
the
like,
Formless
okay,
seminar.
Okay, so
Formless pod seminar.
Jocko's got the muster.
The muster, okay.
Right? They do the muster. And I was like, that's a cool one. Yeah, because you gotta cut the mustard, right? You gotta cut the mustard. But like you gotta make.
Well, muster is like M-U-S-T-E-R.
Yes.
Like you're mustering the troops.
Truth. Yeah. There's like the gathering. The Dog Brothers do the gatherings. Those are cool. I don't want to steal anybody else's, right? Like I want to have a unique name for them, but I definitely think that's and then just like the name.
Yeah.
That'll be like number 1, number 2.
The Formless seminar.
Oh, don't say it on record, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you have a good suggestion,
email
an
us.
idea. Yeah, shoot us an idea. Shoot us a message. Give us your 2 thoughts on that. But yeah, I definitely want to do more of these and make it a thing. And make it something that like I've already like the next one we do, I already have some ideas of like how we're going to present it, how we're going to operate it. Like and some of them I can implement right now and I'm doing those, but like there are other ones like for future podcast or future seminars that I'm like, that'll be cool. So can't wait. I can't wait.
One of our names could be the Gate. Come to the Gate.
Oh,
like
that's
for
good.
William Munn, the Invisible Gate.
Yeah.
The Gate.
Oh.
Meet us at the Gate.
Oh, at the Gates. There's an awesome Swedish metal band called At the Gates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That would be. Okay, we got something there. We might work with something.
Meet us at the Gate.
Yeah. Right on. Friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you at the seminar, September 12th and 13th. If I don't, I will be sorely disappointed, but we're going to have another one and many more. So, questions, comments, concerns, you can email us or visit our social media. All of those things can be found at the Formless Pod. Our email address is formlesspod@gmail.com. Our website is theformlesspod.com, where you can find tickets to this seminar, tickets to upcoming seminars, t-shirts, hats, stickers, book bags. And I think that's it. Oh, pictures of us, coffee mugs. Did I say pillows?
Pillowcases.
Pillowcases, right? Pillows, tapestries. We got it. We got it on there. Anyway, have a wonderful evening. Take care.